Imagine spotting a brand new sports car on a bustling American street in the mid-1960s that looks as if it just rolled off a 1920s boulevard. Its long, sweeping hood stretches out before an upright, vintage-inspired grille, flanked by separate front fenders that recall an era nearly 4 decades past. The open cockpit invites the driver with a nod to classic roadsters, while exposed side exhaust pipes hint at raw performance lurking beneath the nostalgic exterior. This is the 1966 Excalibur SS Series I, a car that defies its time. At a moment when automotive design was racing toward the future with sleek lines and futuristic details, the Excalibur boldly embraced the past. Yet beneath its deliberately old-fashioned appearance beats the heart of modern American muscle. A powerful Chevrolet V8 engine delivering genuine performance. This striking contrast raises compelling questions. Why would a sports car from the 1960s deliberately echo the styling of a bygone era? What inspired such a bold design choice, especially when the car's origins trace back to a concept rejected by a major automaker? To uncover the story behind this visual paradox, we must first meet the visionary who imagined a car that looked to the past while driving toward the future, Brooks Stevens. To understand this visual paradox, we must first meet the visionary behind the design, Brooks Stevens. Brooks Stevens was more than just a designer. He was a visionary who saw potential in blending the past with the present. Based in Milwaukee, Stevens was a respected industrial designer whose career spanned a wide range of American products, from household items to automobiles. His work with Studebaker came at a challenging time for the automaker, which was struggling to maintain relevance in the rapidly changing automotive landscape of the 1960s. Stevens' relationship with Studebaker was professional, but also deeply creative. He sought ways to capture attention and renew interest in the brand, which led him to conceive a car that would stand apart from contemporary designs. Rather than follow the sleek, futuristic trends of the mid-1960s, Stevens was inspired by the powerful and elegant sports cars of the late 1920s, particularly those made by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz SSK was a symbol of automotive performance and style from that era, known for its long hood, upright grille, and sweeping fenders. Stevens did not aim to create a replica or an officially licensed product, but rather to evoke the spirit and visual character of these classic machines. This approach was a deliberate departure from the norm, marrying vintage aesthetics with modern mechanical underpinnings. It was a bold design statement that challenged conventional ideas about what a new sports car could look like. It's important to clarify that the Excalibur SS was not the work of Raymond Loewy, another prominent designer who had ties to Studebaker. While Loewy's influence on American automotive design is undeniable, the credit for the Excalibur's conception and styling belongs firmly to Brooks Stevens and his sons, Steve and David. Together, the Stevens family transformed this concept from a mere design exercise into a tangible prototype. The car's early form combined a modified Studebaker Lark Daytona chassis with Studebaker V8 power, wrapped in a body that was initially constructed differently from the later fiberglass production cars. This prototype was intended to attract attention at the 1964 New York International Automobile Show, a high-profile venue where Brooks Stevens hoped to showcase the unique design. Although Studebaker ultimately chose not to feature the car on their official show stand, Stevens secured a separate display space with help from the show's organizers. The public's enthusiastic reaction and the interest from potential customers provided the impetus for the Stevens family to consider producing the car commercially. This moment marked the beginning of a remarkable journey, one that would see the Excalibur SS become one of America's earliest neoclassic performance cars. Stevens' design was not just about nostalgia, it was a statement about craftsmanship, performance, and the enduring appeal of timeless style. His vision laid the foundation for a car that looked back nearly 4 decades while moving forward with contemporary American muscle. But even with a compelling design, not all automakers embraced the concept, leading to a critical turning point for the Excalibur's future. Brooks Stevens had crafted a striking vision, a car that echoed the grandeur of 1920s Mercedes-Benz sports cars, designed to grab attention at the 1964 New York International Automobile Show. The prototype, with its long hood, upright grille, separate front fenders, and open cockpit, was a deliberate nod to an era nearly 4 decades past. Yet, despite its bold design and the hope it might revive interest in Studebaker during a challenging period, the company's executives chose not to showcase the car on their official stand. This decision left the Stevens family facing a crossroads. The very automaker the car was meant to promote had effectively rejected it. Undeterred, Brooks Stevens leveraged his connections and persuaded the show organizers to allow the prototype to be displayed independently in a separate space. This move proved pivotal. The public's reaction was immediate and enthusiastic. Visitors were drawn to the car's unique blend of vintage-inspired aesthetics and modern American mechanicals. Its modified Studebaker Lark Daytona chassis paired with a Studebaker V8 engine. The prototype's unusual combination earned it informal nicknames like Mercedes-Benz, capturing its hybrid identity between classic European style and contemporary American engineering. It's important to note that this prototype was distinct from the later production Excalibur SS Series 1 models. Its chassis construction, bodywork, and engine differed, reflecting its role as a concept rather than a finished production vehicle. The early body was built differently from the fiberglass shells that would later define the Series 1 cars, and the powertrain remained rooted in Studebaker components rather than the Chevrolet V8s that came to characterize production models. Still, the prototype's presence at the show and the positive public response planted a seed. It demonstrated that there was genuine interest in a car that combined nostalgic design with modern performance, a combination that defied the futuristic trends dominating the 1960s automotive scene. The Stevens family recognized an opportunity to transform this rejected study into something more. From a car dismissed by its own manufacturer to an independent attraction at a major auto show, the Excalibur prototype's unexpected spotlight set the stage for an ambitious leap forward. Encouraged by the enthusiasm of enthusiasts and potential customers alike, the Stevens family began to see the possibility of developing a limited production automobile that could establish a new niche. What started as a promotional concept for a struggling automaker was evolving into the foundation of an entirely new venture. For many showgoers, the Excalibur prototype's presence was both surprising and intriguing, a new car that seemed to defy the era's obsession with space-age styling and technological novelty. Its unapologetically retro appearance, paired with the promise of genuine American V8 performance, offered a different kind of excitement. The car's appeal lay in its ability to evoke the romance of classic motoring while delivering the reliability and power expected from a contemporary machine. The positive public response inspired the Stevens family to take a bold step, turning a rejected prototype into a production automobile. Turning the excitement sparked by the 1964 New York International Automobile Show into a real business demanded more than just design brilliance. It required grit, determination, and a willingness to take significant risks. For the Stevens family, this meant moving beyond the prototype stage and building an actual automobile company. Brooks Stevens, already an accomplished industrial designer, was joined by his sons Steve and David in this ambitious venture. While Brooks brought his creative vision and industry experience, Steve focused on sales and business development, and David took charge of engineering and production. This division of roles was crucial in navigating the challenges of launching a low-volume manufacturer in the competitive mid-1960s American automotive market. The prototype that had dazzled crowds at the show was far from the final product. It had been built on a modified Studebaker Lark Daytona chassis and powered by a Studebaker V8 engine. Its body construction also differed from what would become the production standard. When the Stevens family decided to move forward, they made deliberate changes to create the Series 1 Excalibur SS automobiles. Production models featured fiberglass bodies that captured the vintage-inspired styling, but were lighter and more suited for manufacturing. Mechanically, the shift to Chevrolet's 327 cubic inch V8 engine gave these cars genuine performance credentials, linking the old-world appearance with modern American muscle. Establishing manufacturing facilities was no small feat. Initially, production took place in the Stevens family's own facilities in Mequon, Wisconsin, reflecting the project's family enterprise character rather than that of a large-scale manufacturer. As demand grew, operations expanded to a larger site in West Allis, near Milwaukee. This move was necessary to accommodate the increasing complexity of production and the limited but steady flow of orders. Despite being a niche product, the Excalibur SS was not a casual kit car assembled from unrelated parts. It was a genuine low-volume automobile produced with care and attention to detail, blending established mechanical components with a unique design. Financially, the risks were substantial. Transforming a concept car, initially rejected by a major automaker, into a functioning business required capital, expertise, and unwavering commitment. The Stevens family's willingness to invest their resources and reputations underscored their belief in the Excalibur's potential. This was a period when American car buyers were captivated by futuristic designs and muscle cars, yet here was a car deliberately styled to look nearly 40 years older. That paradox made the Excalibur stand out, appealing to a clientele seeking something different, an automobile that combined nostalgia with excitement behind the wheel. The early Series 1 cars maintained a consistent identity, a two-seat roadster with a long hood, upright grille, separate fenders, and exposed side exhaust pipes that were fully functional. These details were not mere decoration. They contributed to the car's performance and distinctive presence. While some variations existed in trim and equipment, the core of the Excalibur SS remained focused on delivering a spirited driving experience wrapped in vintage-inspired aesthetics. By mid-decade, the Stevens family had transformed public enthusiasm into a tangible enterprise, turning a bold design concept into a recognizable American neoclassic automobile. Their efforts laid the groundwork for a new category in the automotive world: cars that celebrated the past without sacrificing modern performance and engineering. With a fledgling company established, the Excalibur's vintage appearance met modern construction techniques, creating a unique automobile identity. The Excalibur's old-fashioned look was no accident. It was a carefully crafted blend of past and present. At first glance, the 1966 Excalibur SS Series 1 might seem like a car plucked straight from the late 1920s, yet it was very much a product of mid-1960s American ingenuity. Its defining visual elements were deliberate echoes of a bygone era, designed to evoke the powerful and elegant sports cars of nearly 4 decades earlier. The car's very long hood stretched forward like a classic roadster, hinting at the performance beneath, while the upright grille stood as a proud centerpiece, commanding attention with its vintage-inspired shape. Separate front fenders swept around the wheels, a styling cue rare in the streamlined cars of the 1960s, but essential to the Excalibur's neoclassic identity. Inside, the open cockpit invited drivers to experience a direct connection to the road, much like the early sports cars that inspired the design. One of the most striking features was the exposed side exhaust pipes, which were not merely decorative, but functional, underscoring the car's performance ambitions and reinforcing its distinctive silhouette. Yet beneath this nostalgic exterior lay modern construction methods that set the Excalibur apart. Unlike the prototype displayed at the 1964 New York Auto Show, which used a different approach to body construction, the production Series 1 cars employed fiberglass bodies. This choice reflected both practical and design considerations. Fiberglass allowed for the complex curves and shapes essential to recreating the vintage aesthetic while keeping the vehicle light and manageable. It also enabled low-volume production, crucial for a small family enterprise like the Stevens operation. The chassis, while inspired by Studebaker components, was modified to meet the unique demands of the Excalibur's design and performance goals. This combination of modern materials and engineering with vintage styling exemplifies the neoclassic concept, a modern automobile deliberately styled to recall an earlier automotive era. It's important to distinguish the Excalibur SS from genuine antiques or restored classic cars, which are original vehicles preserved or returned to their original condition. The Excalibur was a new car, crafted to evoke the spirit and appearance of the 1920s without being a replica or a casual kit car cobbled together from unrelated parts. Instead, it was a genuine low-volume automobile, produced independently, with careful attention to both form and function. This blend of old and new gave the Excalibur a unique presence on the road, one that challenged the futuristic trends of the 1960s by embracing a romantic vision of automotive history. It was a bold statement, marrying the charm and elegance of vintage design with the reliability and performance of contemporary American mechanical components. The 1966 Series 1 thus stood apart not just visually, but as a purposeful design achievement, a car that looked to the past while firmly grounded in its own time. Beneath its vintage skin, the Excalibur's mechanical heart combined Studebaker roots with Chevrolet performance power. Beneath the Excalibur SS's vintage shell beat a distinctly American heart, a powerful Chevrolet V8 engine mounted on a chassis rooted in Studebaker engineering. This combination was the foundation of the 1966 Series 1's driving character and performance, setting it apart from mere retro styling. The chassis underpinning the production Excalibur was not an entirely original design, but rather a modified platform derived from Studebaker components. While the prototype had utilized a modified Studebaker Lark Daytona chassis, the production models continued to rely on Studebaker's proven mechanical architecture, adapted to suit the unique demands of the Excalibur's neoclassic body and layout. This meant the car retained a solid, reliable American chassis foundation rather than starting from scratch or borrowing from European sources. Complementing this Studebaker-derived chassis was the Chevrolet 327 cubic-inch V8 engine, a power plant well known for its association with Corvette performance during the mid-1960s. This engine gave the lightweight Excalibur SS genuine muscle car credentials, providing spirited acceleration and robust power that belied the car's deliberately old-fashioned appearance. It's important to emphasize that while the Excalibur shared this Chevrolet engine, it was neither a Chevrolet nor an official Corvette model. The Stevens family's creation was an independent automobile, blending components from established manufacturers into a unique, low-volume production car. This fusion of Studebaker chassis elements and Chevrolet engine performance created a vehicle that was both visually nostalgic and mechanically contemporary. The exposed side exhaust pipes on early Series 1 cars were not mere decoration. They were functional, hinting at the car's performance intentions beneath its vintage guise. Exact performance figures such as horsepower, acceleration, and top speed can vary depending on sources and individual car specifications, so they should be approached cautiously. Still, the Chevrolet V8's reputation for power and reliability suggests the Excalibur SS was capable of delivering driving excitement uncommon among many neoclassic cars, which sometimes prioritize style over substance. The use of fiberglass for the bodywork further contributed to the car's relatively light weight, enhancing the impact of the Chevrolet engine's output. This careful balance between old-world styling and modern mechanical underpinnings positioned the Excalibur SS as a unique statement in the 1960s automotive landscape. It was a car that looked back nearly 4 decades while moving forward with genuine American muscle and engineering savvy. This mechanical foundation was crucial to the Excalibur's identity, differentiating it from antique restorations or casual kit cars. Instead, it stood as a thoughtfully engineered, limited production automobile, born from the vision of Brooks Stevens and his sons, and powered by the best of mid-century American automotive technology. As 1966 unfolded, these mechanical choices helped the Excalibur transition from an intriguing concept to a tangible product, setting the stage for the brand's early growth and the establishment of its neoclassic legacy. For buyers in the mid-1960s, this blend of familiar American engineering and dramatic vintage-inspired design offered a rare combination of reliability, individuality, and genuine performance. The year 1966 marked a significant milestone as production ramped up and the Excalibur brand took shape. By 1966, the Excalibur SS Series 1 had shifted from an ambitious concept to a tangible, limited production automobile. The Stevens family, led by industrial designer Brooks Stevens and supported closely by his sons Steve and David, had transformed their vision into reality. While exact production figures vary across historical accounts, it is generally accepted that around 90 units were built during this initial model year. The vast majority were two-seat roadsters, roughly 87 in number, embodying the purest expression of the Excalibur's neoclassic identity. These roadsters captured the essence of the design's vintage inspiration. The long hood, upright grille, separate front fenders, and open cockpit, all powered by contemporary American V8 performance that offered genuine driving excitement beneath the nostalgic exterior. Amid this early production run, a notable development emerged: the introduction of a four-passenger Phaeton version. Though just a handful were produced in 1966, this model hinted at the company's willingness to explore broader market appeal, blending the Excalibur's distinctive styling with added practicality. The Phaeton's inclusion marked a subtle yet important shift, foreshadowing future expansions beyond the strictly two-seat roadster format. Despite this, the Roadster remained the heart of the Excalibur brand, its lightweight construction and focused design continuing to define the car's character. The growing demand and increasing production complexity soon outgrew the Stevens family's original workshop in Mequon. By mid-1966, operations moved to a larger facility in West Allis, a Milwaukee suburb. This relocation was more than a simple change of address. It reflected the transition from a small family project to an emerging independent manufacturer. The move allowed for improved production capacity and better organization, essential for meeting the growing interest generated by the car's debut. Production Excaliburs combined modified Studebaker-derived chassis components with fiberglass bodies, distinguishing them from the prototype's early construction. The engines, notably the Chevrolet 327 cubic inch V8 associated with Corvette performance, delivered power that contrasted with the car's deliberately old-fashioned appearance. This blend of vintage design with modern American mechanicals was the essence of the neoclassic movement, a term describing new automobiles styled to evoke a bygone era rather than restored antiques or casual kit cars. This period was marked by both opportunity and risk. Turning a Studebaker-rejected showpiece into a functioning, market-ready automobile required entrepreneurial courage and technical skill. The Stevens family embraced this challenge, navigating financial uncertainties while refining their product. Their efforts laid the foundation for the Excalibur's unique place in automotive history as one of America's earliest neoclassic performance cars. In the context of the mid-1960s, when futuristic designs and muscle cars dominated, the Excalibur's retro styling was a bold and somewhat rebellious statement. It offered drivers a dramatic alternative, a car that looked nearly 40 years older but could still deliver thrilling performance on modern roads. This tension between past and present defined the 1966 Series 1 and set the stage for the brand's future evolution. Owning and driving an Excalibur was as distinctive as its design, an experience blending drama and performance. Driving an Excalibur SS was far more than simply getting from point A to point B. It was a vivid, theatrical experience that captured attention wherever it went. Sitting behind the wheel meant immersing yourself in a world where vintage aesthetics met genuine American muscle. The open cockpit exposed the driver and passenger to the elements, reinforcing a sense of connection with the road and the car's raw character. Unlike the increasingly enclosed, futuristic cars of the mid-1960s, the Excalibur offered an unfiltered, almost rebellious driving environment. Its long hood stretched out ahead like a statement of power, while the upright grille and separate front fenders recalled a bygone era, making the car feel like a moving piece of automotive theater. One of the most striking features was the exposed side exhaust pipes, which were not merely decorative, but fully functional. These pipes emitted a distinctive growl that matched the car's aggressive stance, adding an audible dimension to its vintage-inspired drama. The sound alone was enough to turn heads and signal that beneath this antique facade lay serious muscle. Underneath the classic styling, the Excalibur SS was built with lightweight fiberglass body panels and modified Studebaker-derived chassis components. This combination contributed to lively handling and a nimble feel that set it apart from heavier, more conventional sports cars of the time. Paired with the Chevrolet 327 cubic inch V8 engine, The car delivered spirited performance that surprised many who expected a slow, purely nostalgic cruiser. Shifting gears in the Excalibur was a hands-on affair, reflecting the more mechanical, connected driving experience of the era. The absence of modern luxury and comfort features, common in later Excalibur models, meant that driving demanded focus and engagement, rewarding those who appreciated driving as an event rather than a convenience. The interior was straightforward and functional, emphasizing the essentials over extravagance. For owners, this car was a statement of individuality and a celebration of automotive history brought to life with contemporary power. On American roads dominated by sleek, futuristic designs and burgeoning muscle cars, the Excalibur SS stood apart as a deliberate throwback that felt radical in its own right. It challenged prevailing trends by embracing a style nearly 40 years old, yet it never sacrificed performance or driving excitement. This blend of spectacle and substance created a loyal following among enthusiasts who valued both the car's striking presence and its genuine capabilities. Owning an Excalibur was to participate in a unique chapter of automotive culture, a family-driven venture that transformed a rejected showpiece into a living, breathing car that combined the best of past and present. For many, the Excalibur SS offered a rare opportunity to experience the thrill of classic motoring without the compromises of true antiques. Its blend of nostalgia and modern engineering created a distinctive ownership experience unlike anything else available at the time. Beyond its individual appeal, the Excalibur SS played a key role in establishing the American neoclassic automobile movement. The Excalibur SS Series I was more than just a striking blend of vintage style and modern muscle. It played a foundational role in shaping what would become the American neoclassic automobile movement. At a time when car design was leaning heavily into futuristic lines and chrome extravagance, the Excalibur boldly looked back nearly 4 decades, resurrecting the visual spirit of the late 1920s Mercedes-Benz sports cars, particularly the SSK. But this wasn't about nostalgia alone. The Stevens family's creation combined that deliberate retro aesthetic with contemporary American performance, notably Chevrolet's 327 cubic inch V8 engine, giving it genuine power beneath its graceful, old-fashioned exterior. This fusion of eras was groundbreaking. The neoclassic movement, which the Excalibur helped to define, centered on crafting new automobiles that deliberately recalled the elegance and craftsmanship of an earlier age, while incorporating the reliable, high-performance mechanical components of the present. Unlike antique cars restored from the 1920s or 1930s, or kit cars pieced together without a unified vision, the Excalibur SS was a professionally designed, low-volume production automobile. It stood apart as a serious and authentic effort, produced independently but with a clear nod to automotive heritage. The Series I Excalibur's long hood, upright grille, separate fenders, open cockpit, and exposed side exhaust pipes created a silhouette instantly recognizable and distinct from the mainstream. This design was not a mere copy or tribute. It was a new interpretation, crafted to evoke the power and elegance of a bygone era while delivering the excitement of 1960s American V8 performance. This balance made the Excalibur a symbol of rebellion against the prevailing trends of its time, showing that looking backward could be just as radical as looking forward. As production expanded beyond the Stevens family's initial facilities, the car's influence grew. It demonstrated there was a market for automobiles that celebrated classic design principles without sacrificing modern driving dynamics. However, it's important to distinguish this original 1966 Series I from the later Excalibur Series II through V models. Those subsequent versions gradually shifted toward larger, more luxurious vehicles, moving away from the lightweight, performance-focused character of the initial offering. While later Excaliburs attracted more attention for their luxury appointments and size, the 1966 Series I remains the purest expression of the neoclassic ideal, a car that dared to combine the best of two automotive worlds. The Excalibur's pioneering spirit inspired other manufacturers and builders to explore this blend of past and present, helping to establish a new niche in American automotive culture. Unlike some stories that rely on unverified celebrity ownership to add glamour, The true legacy of the Excalibur SS lies in its bold design vision and the entrepreneurial risk taken by the Stevens family. It transformed a concept rejected by Studebaker into a tangible, influential automobile that challenged conventions and expanded the possibilities of American car design. Ultimately, the Excalibur didn't just look back. It helped build a new automotive future rooted in history, setting the stage for a movement that continues to resonate with enthusiasts today. Ultimately, the Excalibur's legacy reveals how rejection became the seed of innovation and influence. The story of the Excalibur SS Series 1 is a testament to how a rejected idea can evolve into a pioneering force in automotive history. Brooks Stevens' vision transformed a concept dismissed by Studebaker into a genuine limited production car, blending the charm of vintage design with the power and reliability of contemporary American V8 engineering. In an era dominated by futuristic styling and rapid technological change, the Excalibur's deliberate nod to the past stood out as both rebellious and refreshingly individual. It offered drivers not just a car, but a connection to the rich heritage of motoring, wrapped in a package that delivered real performance and excitement. This balance of nostalgia and modernity laid the foundation for what became known as the neoclassic movement, automobiles that consciously echo earlier eras without being restorations or mere replicas. While later Excalibur models grew larger and more luxurious, the 1966 Series 1 remains distinct for its lightweight, performance-focused character and its role as a genuine independent creation from a family-driven enterprise. The Excalibur's journey from a sidelined Studebaker concept to an influential niche car highlights the power of entrepreneurial resolve and design courage. It challenges us to consider how looking backward can sometimes inspire forward momentum in unexpected ways. What does the Excalibur's legacy tell us about the relationship between innovation and tradition? If you've enjoyed this journey into automotive history, consider exploring more stories that reveal the unexpected paths of classic cars.